Hello, you're watching the English News Bulletin on QPVN channel. I'm Chong Nguyen, and now let me keep you up to date with the headlines. Finance sector marks 80 years as pillar of national development. Vietnam and Angola boost cooperation in key areas. KHANH promotes integrated technology in agriculture. The Ministry of Finance held a ceremony in Hanoi on August the 8th to celebrate the 80th anniversary of the finance sector, August the 28th, and receive a first-class independence order. Attending the event were Party General Secretary To Lâm and other leaders and former leaders of the party and state. On behalf of the party state leadership, Party General Secretary To Lâm presented the first-class independence order to the Ministry of Finance. Prime Minister Phạm Minh Chính awarded the first-class labor order to Minister of Finance Nguyễn Văn Thắng for outstanding achievements in managing national finance. The Ministry of Finance was established on August 28, 1945, under a decree signed by President Hồ Chí Minh. Since then, the date has been celebrated annually as the sector's traditional day. Over the past 80 years, the finance sector has grown into a central coordinating force, advising on economic strategy, managing national financial resources, and contributing significantly to Vietnam's socio-economic development. Party General Secretary To Lâm emphasized that the country is entering a new era of development. With its proud tradition, the finance sector will continue to fulfill its entrusted mission, contributing to national renewal, construction, and defense. The finance sector has performed very well. With its resources, we've eliminated makeshift and dilapidated housing nationwide and implemented major reforms in education and healthcare, ultimately to improve the lives of our people and benefit the country. He expressed confidence that the finance sector will maintain solidarity and determination, working toward the shared goals of building a prosperous, happy nation. On August the 7th local time in Angola, President Lương Cường held talks with Angolan President João Manuel Gonçalves Lourenço. President Lương Cường affirmed that the close and friendly relationship between Vietnam and Angola is a valuable common asset, a solid foundation for the two countries to open a new chapter in the bilateral ties. President Lương Cường suggested that the two sides strengthen cooperation in such key areas as defense and security, asked Angola to create favorable conditions for Vietnamese enterprises to invest in Angola, and step up promotion to bring bilateral trade turnover to $1 billion. Praising the role and strengths of Vietnam, the Angolan president suggested that Vietnam support Angola in ensuring sustainable food security, and the two countries continue to promote cooperation in the fields of defense, security, and mining. Concluding the talks, President Lương Cường and President João Manuel Gonçalves Lourenço issued a joint statement between Vietnam and Angola, co-chairing a press conference and witnessing the signing ceremony of cooperation documents. Under the witness of the leaders of Vietnam and Angola, General Phan Văn Giang, Minister of National Defense, signed a letter of intent on cooperation between the Ministry of National Defense of Vietnam and the Ministry of National Defense and Veterans of Angola. At the event, General Phan Văn Giang had a meeting with Angolan Minister of Defense and Veterans, João Ernesto dos Santos. Minister João Ernesto dos Santos highly lauded the increasing role and position of Vietnam in the region and the international arena, and wished to promote the cooperation with Vietnam in areas where both sides have strengths and needs. General Phan Văn Giang hoped that Minister João Ernesto dos Santos would pay an official visit to Vietnam in the time to come. The two ministers highly lauded the signing of letter of intent on cooperation between the Ministry of National Defense of Vietnam and the Ministry of National Defense and Veterans of Angola, saying that this signing demonstrates the goodwill of the two sides towards building a memorandum of understanding on defense cooperation, at the same time opening a new chapter for bilateral defense relations. On August the 8th in Hanoi, the Cyber Department under the General Staff held a ceremony to celebrate the 80th founding anniversary of the military cyber sector, September the 12th, and received the second-class Fatherland Protection Order. General Nguyễn Tân Cương, Chief of the General Staff and Deputy Minister of National Defense, addressed the event. After 80 years of development, under the leadership and direction of the Central Military Commission and the Ministry of National Defense, the officers, employees, and soldiers of the military cyber sector and the cyber department under the General Staff have proactively researched, advised, and proposed to issue many important policies and guidelines to innovate and improve the quality of cyber work. General Nguyễn Tân Cương asked the military cyber sector to grasp and accurately forecast the situation, closely coordinate with relevant agencies to perform its advisory role well to the Central Military Commission, Ministry of National Defense, the General Staff, and the Government Cyber Committee on cyber work in the military, while strengthening its leadership and direction to effectively implement the policy of attracting and using high-quality human resources to build a strong and modern cyber sector. On the occasion of the 64th anniversary of the Day for Agent Orange Dioxin Victims in Vietnam, August 10th, on the morning of August 8th, Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến, Deputy Minister of National Defense, head of the Standing Office of the National Steering Committee on Overcoming the Consequences of Chemical and Explosive Remnants of War, visited and inquired after and presented gifts to Agent Orange victims at the Vietnam Social Protection Center for Agent Orange Dioxin Victims. There currently remain some 4.8 million Agent Orange Dioxin victims across Vietnam. Senior Lieutenant General Hoàng Xuân Chiến urged Office 701 and NASET to study the proposals of the Social Protection Center for Agent Orange Dioxin victims and submit a plan to the Ministry of National Defense leaders for approval to support the victims and their families. At the same time, augmenting the communication work to mobilize greater resources to help the victims. He encouraged the Social Protection Center for Agent Orange Dioxin victims to keep up their good work and take good care of the victims, demonstrating the due attention of the party, state, people, and military to the national contributors. The same day, Senior Lieutenant General Phùng Sĩ Tấn, Deputy Chief of the General Staff, head of the Organizing Committee of the Ministry of National Defense, on display at the National Achievements Exhibition marking the 80th anniversary of National Day, September the 2nd, inspected the preparation work at the National Exhibition Center in Hanoi. By now, relevant agencies are actively coordinating to complete the design plan according to the direction of the leader of the Ministry of National Defense. In the exhibition areas, many displayed products have been added, including those produced by the Vietnam defense industry. Senior Lieutenant General Phùng Sĩ Tấn requested relevant units to speed up the progress, stay ready for inspection and rehearsal, uphold the sense of responsibility, and overcome difficulties to best complete assigned task. The National Achievements Exhibition on the occasion of the 80th anniversary of the National Day will take place from August the 28th to September the 5th at the National Exhibition Center in Hanoi, with the participation of central agencies, branches, 34 provinces and cities. Also on the morning of August the 8th at Naval Region 4, Senior Lieutenant General Nguyễn Văn Nghĩa, Deputy Chief of the General Staff, head of the Military Parade Subcommittee, inquired after and sent encouragement to the Naval Parade Forces participating in the celebration of the 80th anniversary of the August Revolution and National Day. Senior Lieutenant General Nguyễn Văn Nghĩa lauded the practice efforts of the forces. Over the past time, the Navy service, the Coast Guard, Border Guard, and Militia Flotilla forces under Military Region 5 have been surmounting wind and waves to practice parade at sea, demonstrating the valor, strength, regularity, and skills of the armed forces. He asked the parade forces to uphold determination and emulation spirit, relevant agencies and units to take good care of the troops, accurately forecast and firmly grasp all situations and weather conditions, flexibly and appropriately carried out training plan at sea, ensuring good performance. Coming up next, Hanoi launches pilot project to prevent rabies and transition away from dog and cat meat trade. Khánh Hòa promotes integrated technology in agriculture. On August the 8th in Hanoi, the Hanoi Department of Animal Husbandry, Fisheries and Veterinary Medicine held the conference to pilot the project on rabies prevention and sustainable economic development to gradually transition away from the dog and cat meat trade in some of the city's wards. The project is jointly implemented by the Hanoi Department of Agriculture and Environment and Reup Foundation, marking the first time this model has been applied in a major city in Vietnam. As planned, the project focuses on enhancing the effectiveness of dog and cat population management to reduce the number of stray and ownerless dogs and cats and boosting community education and communication programs about rabies, as well as supporting career transition for households involved in the dog and cat meat trade. Speaking at the event, a city's representative affirmed that this was a commitment to protecting public health, in line with the national strategy to eliminate human rabies deaths by 2030. A representative of Reup Foundation highly appreciated Hanoi's determination and commitment to accompanying and bringing benefits to both humans and animals. The model is expected to become a valuable experience that can be replicated in other localities, helping build Hanoi into a civilized and safe city and deeply integrated with the international community. Implementing Politburo Resolution Number 57 on breakthroughs in science and technology, innovation, and national digital transformation, Khánh Hòa Province is accelerating the shift toward modern, sustainable agriculture. High-tech applications and integrated smart solutions are identified as the key approach to improving productivity, product quality, and building a smart agriculture ecosystem. This is the high-tech durian farm at Sakura Farm in Đông Khánh Sơn Commune, covering 45 hectares with premium durian varieties. The farm fully applies technology in production, including automated irrigation and fertilization systems. High-tech organic cultivation keeps the environment balanced and avoids chemical overuse. Our products meet organic standards with no chemical residues. Research and technology transfer are also being actively implemented. As an example, the Nha Ho Cotton and Agricultural Research Institute is pioneering biotechnology and modern genetic engineering to develop high-yield, high-quality crop varieties suited to Khánh Hòa and the South Central region. From now to 2030, we'll focus resources on breeding crop varieties resistant to pests and adaptable to climate change, as well as applying microbiological and nanotechnologies to improve soil health. Khánh Hòa has expanded high-tech agricultural production to over 1,000 hectares. Organic certified crops meeting U.S., Japanese, and European standards now cover 5,599 hectares, with 163 planting area codes granted for more than 5,171 hectares. We're ready to provide technical support, grant planting area codes, guide market access, and work with partners inside and outside the agricultural sector to boost production, processing, and consumption. In the coming period, Khánh Hòa will mobilize resources from programs and projects to invest in key crop and livestock research, transfer advanced farming and processing technologies, diversify products, train digital human resources, and foster partnerships among businesses, scientists, and farmers for sustainable production chains. And that's all for now. Remember, you can always watch the news again at qpvn.vn. Now, thank you for watching and hope to see you next time.